Noname says in a tweet, "We love an African aesthetic draped in capitalism. Hope we remember the black folks on the continent whose daily lives are impacted by U.S. imperialism. If we can uplift the imagery, I hope we can uplift those who would never be able to access it. Black liberation is a global struggle." Global struggle. I totally understand what you're saying, No Name, but you are running at risk of becoming annoying and alienating the people you're trying to send this message to. Which is funny because this is kind of what J. Cole said on his song that even I criticized. But I feel like now I'm starting to come around to the point that he's making. I do think No Name is becoming somewhat annoying. This is kind of annoying because you're starting to, like, you're a very smart woman, No Name, if you're listening to this. She's very smart. She knows what she's talking about. This is a very intelligent tweet. But there's something about kind of looking in the bad side of something that is generally positive, right? Like, she's talking about the Black is King film on Disney Plus that Beyonce did, her visual album, right? She's talking about that, and then that is kind of like almost like a applying the Lion King kind of story with, I guess African aesthetic, or just, black, like African, mythology, right? That's kind of what she was doing, and mixing it with her music as well. She was doing that on her visual album. And generally speaking, that's not bad, right? Like, I think we can all agree that's not necessarily bad, right? Obviously, there are bad things about it, right? I understand that. That makes sense to me. But I'm just saying, generally, I don't know if that's horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if this is something that you really need to criticize, especially at the moment of release, and also not necessarily being this is a subtweet. You know what I mean? It's not direct. It's not saying, listen, the I love the Black is King shit. But then that's the other thing. There's another subtweet that, could you imagine if this elicits a response from Jay-Z and or Beyonce the same way her subtweet about J. Cole did? I think she's an artist, right? And a lot of people find her as a peer. And I think when she criticizing them, they kind of feel a way, and they also probably feel a way that is like a subtweet. I'm starting to understand what, like, there's a lot of people that have an issue with. I'm starting to realize that I feel like a lot of artists and a lot of, like, celebrities and shit are probably starting to hate No Name. And you kind of have to respect it that she's going that hard for her cause, that she doesn't give a fuck that she's even criticizing Beyonce. It was one of the people that you never criticize, right? Like, that's what's so crazy about this. But, I feel like, but going back to my original point of, the Black is King, I feel like that's a generally good thing, Black is King with the title, like elevating blackness to a level where it's like, be proud of your blackness, right? I think at the end of the day, that's what it's about. This whole visual album and the musical album that she did in conjunction with the Lion King. I think that's the whole point of it. But, I do understand what No Name is saying, that, like, it's nice and well to use African aesthetic to uplift ourselves, but if there's other people suffering on the other end of that, then it's like you said, black liberation is a global struggle. So she's saying we're kind of feeling good about ourselves in the United States, but we should probably try to feel better about ourselves, or we should not just try to feel better about ourselves, but also try to liberate black people all across the world, which is a big ask. That's the other thing. You know what I mean? This is something I've been thinking about a lot. When we get involved in, like, international affairs, or try to fix international shit, there's only so much we can do because it is international, right? And what are the priorities? I feel like our number one priority should be where we are at. That might sound selfish, but it's like, I feel like you can make the most impact of what you're closest to. I don't know if your impact is going to be that big trying to help a place that's like 100,000 miles away, or however far, it could, or the other side of the world, right? Like, trying to fix that, I think, could be an issue. And that's what I feel like, black liberation is a global struggle, right? I understand that, but No Name, if you're listening, it should probably be better to focus on the United States first. Because we know there are black issues in the United States. It's become overtly clear over the past couple months. So I feel like maybe if we try to focus on that first, then I feel like we can focus on other places. But I feel like, asking to fix or like help with things that are so far away from us, it's a very difficult task if you don't have the resources or, because why the fuck would you? I understand like black liberation is a global struggle. That's true, but it's also a national struggle, right? It's a struggle that's happening here in the United States, and I feel like we should probably prioritize it, correctly. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. Maybe I'm black. Maybe I don't. I don't. I'd be struggling with that. Like, I don't know if I'm considered black or not. I have no fucking idea. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Dominican, so and I'm somewhat darker skinned. I'm kind of like a mix. It's almost like Indian skinned. I don't know how to describe myself. So I don't know if I can speak on black issues. Like, no name might listen to this. Like, you're fucking Dominican. You're not black. You shouldn't get involved in these issues. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right. Maybe that's true. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is. I don't know. Fuck it. I mean, yeah, sure. You're right. No name. I'm just a Dominican guy who doesn't know shit. Just giving my opinion on that. I feel like that is probably that can start to you know alienate the people you're trying to help and the people you're trying to speak to. Like by doing this, I don't think this is gonna make Beyonce's ears perk up by being kind of sarcastic. You know what I mean? Like, we love an African aesthetic draped in capitalism. I mean, what else can it be in the United States? Everything is capitalism, unfortunately. And I don't like capitalism, but it's just what it is. That's the United States. I don't know, man. I understand what No Name is saying, but I feel like this is almost like, I don't know. This is kind of counterintuitive, I think, to what is happening in the United States in terms of a black movement.